We open up with a beautiful couple enjoying at beach as the gorgeous redhead named Charlie dances around. The blonde named Simone takes her pictures, seemingly wanting to capture the free spirit of her partner. We skip to see Charlie now standing at the corner of a street staring at a couple on the other side. She seems to act weird and like a stalker as the couple gets affectionate, causing them to be creeped out by her. Later on, we see the creepy scene of the redhead standing at the beach, staring at the endless ocean, hearing the voice of her partner telling her how she loves her. We see Charlie listening to the voice message that her partner left, telling her that she will come home tonight. Charlie is elated by this news. We see Charlie coming home with flowers to greet her love. As she enters the apartment, we get a sense that something is not right. While relaxing in the bathtub, she accidentally spills the wine, prompting her to get out. We see her happily getting ready for her partner when she hears scary giggling sounds coming from her neighbor's house. Suddenly, she hears a door bang and goes to check it out, thinking it might be her partner. Seeing that it was no one, she continues to listen to music. We get a look at the beautiful relationship of the couple. While Charlie is making food, we see an ominous figure in the background. As it's getting late, Charlie calls Simone to tell her how she is missing her so much and wants her to come home. We also learn that it is their anniversary today. While thinking about Simone, Charlie is startled by her cat, who knocks over her wine glass. She goes to look for napkins when she sees white figures in a room and remembers how Simone is scared of them. She receives a message from her friend, Thea, asking her to come party with her, but Charlie doesn't respond, so Thea calls her. Amused, Charlie picks up the phone and tells her she can't come as she is waiting for Simone. However, Thea is not impressed and tells her to live her life and not wait on Simone all the time. When she starts calling Simone bad things, we see the lights start flickering at home. It's revealed that Simone is at a shot somewhere. As Thea is complaining to her, we see Charlie receive a message from her mother, so she opens up her laptop to check it out. Thea continues to criticize Simone, while Charlie tells her to stop. She gets the message that her mom wants to video call her. Hanging up with Thea, Charlie gets up in a hurry as she makes herself presentable to talk with her mother. A comical moment happens when her mother seems to not know how the volume works like common boomers. She asks Charlie about her makeup career, sounding pretentious, to which Charlie just gives an awkward answer. They seem to talk about how she used to play when she was young, which makes Charlie laugh. As they are talking, Charlie tells her mom why she wanted to talk. Her mother tells that her grandmother passed away last night, which makes Charlie sad. She asks her mother about the funeral, but her mother just sidesteps the question and asks Charlie to give back the cross necklace that her grandmother gave her. Charlie seems to be getting angsty by something as her mother continues to act all cocky and pure. We see that she doesn't like Simone very much, as she continues to blast on Charlie when she sees a picture that Simone took. When Charlie asks her if she ever cared, we see a tense argument between both of them as Charlie's mother goes on and on about how she hates what she is and her sexual preferences. As she pans the camera, Charlie is shocked to see that it is daytime at her mother's place but late night at Charlie's, despite them living in the same region. Confused, she slams the laptop shut on her mother, telling her she will return the necklace when she has time. When Charlie tries to leave the apartment, she realizes that the door handle is stuck, trapping her inside. Despite her countless struggles, the door does not open, so she messages Simone, asking her how far she is. She looks out of the window and realizes that it is pitch black outside, as if something is covering it. As she strolls the house, she sees another messed up video from a drunk Thea, asking her to join them in being idiots. Charlie gets frustrated and calls a man named Vito, telling him about the situation and asking if he can check it out. Suddenly, a loud sound startles Charlie. Thinking it might be Simone, she goes to check it out. The sound leads her to the shooting room with scary white figures in it. Charlie is already nervous when the flickering lights, along with a loud sound coming from the vents, scare the crap out of her. She goes to her room and sees the door looks as if a huge force hit it. She investigates the room looking for the source of disturbance but finds nothing. Now really worried, she calls Simone but it goes to voicemail again. As Charlie records a voicemail for Simone, she hears a sound at the door and rushes to tell the person about her situation, but as she is talking, the person behind the door seems to vanish. Later on, Charlie hears a sound of a woman crying from the vent, so she goes to ask for help from her. When she stands up, she goes back to a memory of her with Simone. We see the couple in their daily routine, talking about the dying woman next door when Charlie sees a message on Simone's phone from a man named Robert, telling her how he can't wait to be with her. Seeing this, Charlie understandably looks upset and seems to ignore all the plans Simone is telling her, oblivious to Charlie's reaction. Now, in the present, we see a worried Charlie talking with Thea on the phone, asking her about the time and if it is day outside. But Thea, not really invested in the conversation, is too distracted to notice anything Charlie is saying. Charlie, despite getting mad at her pathetic drunk friend, tries to explain her situation, but Thea cuts the call as her phone is going to die. As Charlie is trying to figure out how to get out, we see another moment from the past in which Charlie models nude for Simone, who is enthusiastically taking her pictures, looking amazed. Simone calls Charlie her wildflower, making her blush, and we see the scene between the couple soon blur to a sensual moment. Later on, we see Simone talking about people and how different they are. Back to the present, we see Charlie deep in thought when another sound comes from the apartment. Despite being scared, it just frustrates her as she goes to check the door again but still finds it stuck. She calls Vito, but it goes to voicemail again. With no other choice, she decides to call 911. She explains her ordeal to them, telling how she needs help immediately. The operator isn't very delighted to hear this but still tells her that help is on the way before abruptly cutting the phone. Later on, we see Charlie drinking wine again for the millionth time while waiting for someone to come. As she changes into something more comfortable, she notices a box on the nightstand and decides to go through it. Not finding what she was looking for, she places it back as we see the woman start to cry again. As Charlie walks towards her, we see a scary woman pass in the background. Charlie tries to talk to the crying woman, but gets no proper answer from her. The woman asks her to pray with her, to which Charlie is reluctant at first but agrees when she sees how distraught the woman is. Suddenly, the atmosphere gets tense as the woman asks Charlie to grab her grandmother's necklace to pray, and she starts to laugh. Shocked and scared, Charlie leaves the psycho alone. She gets a call from Thea and talks to her, but the woman mimics her, angering Charlie. She goes to the other room and tells Thea about it, but we see Thea drops a bomb on Charlie, telling how Simone is in the city with someone else. Charlie sees the picture, and we go back to see that the couple from the start was actually Simone with someone else. Charlie looks to be in a state of shock, staring blindly. She calls 911 again and again, telling them she is locked, getting more and more ruffled each time. But we see at the end of the call the code the operator gets distorted as the psycho woman taunts Charlie. Charlie tries getting the attention of the woman outside the door, seeming to lose her cool. We skip to past seeing how Simone confronted Charlie about following her like a creep. Charlie follows her, but it results in an argument between them while Simone acts like a bitch as Charlie tries to reconcile. Back in present, we see Charlie gets her phone and calls Simone, but the phone seems to ring inside the house, startling Charlie. She hesitantly goes to check it. The sound again takes Charlie to the creepy room with white figures. She finds Simone's phone broken along with the cross necklace. She wears it and gets scared shitless when one of the figures moves. Getting scared, she checks it, but we see it is just a statue. Again, Charlie begs the woman outside the door to turn around and help her, but seeing her terrified face, she falls back. She seems to teleport to the beach. Confused out of her mind, she wanders the place but comes back to reality when she sees the creepy woman again. As she picks up her phone to call again, we see the phone malfunctioning. The scene gets more and more bizarre as we hear the psycho woman laughing and taunting Charlie as she tries to make sense of things. Finally, she calls Thea again and tells her about what is happening to her. She gets more and more frazzled, but Thea just stares at her while telling her she can't help her as she is not here. As the crazy woman talks in the background, we see Charlie receive a recording of herself from the crazy woman's point of view. Now genuinely scared for her life, Charlie starts to scream out of her window for help. Back inside, Charlie walks around with a dead expression on her face as she hears Simone in her mind while the crazy woman goes on and on saying, "You are not here." We see a blank-faced Charlie sit down, getting irritated by the woman's rants. She starts to shout at her as well, which makes the woman start to cry, asking for her mom. Charlie gets up to call her mom, but suddenly the TV turns on and we see her mom on the TV. Charlie asks for her help, but her mother starts to turn into something else, taunting Charlie. We see Charlie losing her mind as the video goes on and on. Suddenly, the power goes out, scaring Charlie. She wanders around with her phone as nauseating and terrifying voices follow her around. We see her go to the fridge and find dead flesh there, which makes her throw up. We see that the flowers she brought are all dead now. Tired, she begs the woman to tell her what is happening, but the woman continues to cry, saying Simone will never come back. Charlie gets defensive hearing this and demands to know who the crazed lady is. Charlie gets a vision of her standing on the beach staring at a box. Now, resolute, she gets up, making her teleport to the beach. She stares at the crashing waves with a somber look on her face, but suddenly we see the scary lady standing there pointing at the box. Charlie goes to it, but as she turns back, she gets scared by the scary woman, causing her to fall back, teleporting back to the apartment. She begs the woman for help as she pounds on the grate. While shouting, she hears someone screaming her name inside the apartment. A terrified Charlie goes to check it out and starts to cry when the other voice tells her to stop. Back at the shooting room, we see the camera going off, taking pictures. In the camera, we see a bound Simone as she begs Charlie to stop. We come to the startling revelation that it was Charlie who murdered Simone in a fit of rage after Simone rejected her. She dumped her body in a box that we saw at the beach. All of the things happening are in her head, caused by the guilt of what she did. A terrified and crazed Charlie runs away from the scary woman coming towards her. We see that it is her representing Charlie getting tormented because of what she did. Finally, in the last moments of the movie, we see Charlie sitting on top of the box in which she put the dead Simone. As she stares blankly at the ocean, she slits her throat to end the misery caused by her deranged actions. Subscribe for more videos like this one. See you in the next video. Take care.